You're gonna die for bicycling while black? I've heard of DWBs, but I ain't never heard of BWBs. Bicycling while black. This is a new one for me.
Pascal.
Another man has been shot in LA by police. So the LA Sheriff Department says that deputies kill a black man who dropped a handgun. Now, dropped a gun. Sorry, let me just say that. So 2 deputies fatally shot a black man who scuffled with them after they tried to stop him for riding a bike in an unlawful manner.
What?
Yes, hold on. I'm going to continue. And then we do have a little bit of a news video from media, because I want you guys to hear it in multiple angles as much as we can, because let me continue before I say anything else. So a crowd gathered, and of course the people are marching on behalf of this man who was shot. So let's get into the story real quick, shall we? So when deputies tried to stop the man, he dropped his bike and ran. With the deputies in pursuit, the deputies again tried to make contact with the man, and then he punched a deputy in the face. The man dropped a bundle of clothes he had been carrying, and they spotted a black handgun in the bundle, at which point both deputies opened fire. So now the man was pronounced dead on the scene, and the handgun was recovered, and no deputies were injured. So family members at the scene identified the dead man as Dijon Kizzy, and he is 29 years old, 29-year-old black man. And so there was a bystander or a person that lived in the neighborhood, and he said he questioned why the deputies fired at a man who, according to the police, to the sheriff's official statement, wasn't holding a weapon. And I quote, this is what Arlander Givens, the neighbor, said, if he reached down to grab it, that's different. But if it's on the ground, why shoot? That means he was unarmed. So, of course, right now, the gentleman that died had a bundle of clothing. In the bundle of clothing, there was a handgun. I don't know how I have many questions about this line, which drives me nuts, which is they were trying to stop him for riding a bicycle in an unlawful manner. The hell does that mean? Someone translate that to me in another language, because obviously English, it don't make sense to me. So somebody needs to break that down for me. We do have
on the sidewalk.
Maybe he was riding on the sidewalk. I don't know. We do have a little clip from a news junket out in Los Angeles, and I wanted to show you guys that video as well. So let's take a look at this real quick.
Here is what sheriff's investigators say they know and what they believe may have happened. They say around 3:15 this afternoon, deputies encountered a man riding a bike. They say that man was in violation of a vehicle code, and that is when the deputies approached him. They say the man ended up running from deputies about a block and a half away. Once deputies caught up with that man, he allegedly punched a deputy, dropping a bag of clothes. That's when investigators say the deputies noticed a gun in the bag that man was holding.
They don't even know how many times that they shot this man. They don't even know how many times. Okay. So a man is on his bike. He's riding the bike in an unlawful manner, right? Let's just, I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating what was said, all right? He's riding his bike in an unlawful manner. And then all of a sudden, he gets pulled over whilst bicycling. He takes off because he's, of course, probably wanted for something, or maybe, I'm just assuming. Why would you run unless you're either scared or you have a warrant out for your arrest something, pre-existing warrant or some sort. There's some sort of tussle. He punches one of the guys, one of the deputies in the face. He drops his bag, his bundle of clothing. There's a handgun in the bag or in the bundle of clothing that, from my understanding, has not been touched. And obviously, this is all just from what we got in the news thus far. And then he gets shot. He gets shot a couple times. Let's just say a couple times by both deputies. An unarmed man, mind you. He might have had a weapon in his bundle of clothing, but he didn't have it in his possession. He did not have it in his hand. He was not holding it. He was not brandishing a gun. What makes two cops want to shoot a man several times? That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. Jack, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? Because I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. This doesn't make any sense to me.
I was looking up, like, in California, what is an unlawful way of riding a bike. Now, there's things about, in California, you're allowed to ride a bike on the highway, but you have to do so on the shoulder. You can't be, like, in traffic. But he doesn't look like he was on the highway. He was in, like, a neighborhood.
Bruh, he was in a neighborhood, yeah. He was on a sidewalk. He was probably just minding his own business.
Other things that you can't do is be drunk or on drugs while riding a bike because you're operating a vehicle. So then you're underneath, the influence. So that would basically be like a DUI or DWI. But if he was riding the bike down the wrong side of the road into traffic, he could have been doing that, or maybe he was doing like stunts on the bike in the middle. But if he's got a whole bag of clothes, I can't imagine he was doing anything like, too excessive, right?
Yeah.
So I imagine he was riding his bike down the wrong way, maybe down the one-way street the wrong way, or I'm not quite sure. What exactly the unlawful thing is. I would like to hear what their reasoning is, or
so
see.
Would I.
I want to see some video come out, some ring cams or something like that from the doorbell cameras, and watch the interaction go down. If there are
ring cameras out there. That's the other thing. Here's the other question. Where is the body cam footage? Done. Do they wear body cam footage in South Los Angeles? I would assume that they do. So where is the body cam footage? Where'd that be? Doesn't make any sense. Because here's the thing. If there is that kind of footage out there, that should explain a lot of things. And hopefully it'll stop. Hopefully the answers will point at that Dijon was maybe doing something that was illegal, or maybe he was very aggressive. Maybe he was coming at them in a bad way. God knows what happened, because we don't have the body cam footage, or we don't have no footage. So now we're going to have protesters out there that are going to get angry. We already at this place right now where even the littlest act of violence, regardless if it's 100% true or not, triggers so many riots and protests and violence out in the streets that I'm worried about LA. Man, I just left LA. And this happens. Now I'm worried about like LA going up in flames now and protests happening there. I mean, it's inevitable now, it seems like. It seems as if it's almost inevitable that this is what's going to happen. That as soon as somebody gets hurt, somebody gets shot, somebody gets killed, whatever it is, that there's an uproar. And I understand that. But let's get the facts first. But we don't know the facts in this situation. They could be saying anything they want right now. Oh, he was riding his bike in an unlawful manner. What the hell does that mean, bruh? What does that mean?
Well, we assumed it was a stolen bike. So.
Yeah. What does that mean? Pray tell. ¿Por qué? Why? Why would you go, oh, that man, looks like that man is riding his bike in a weird way. Oh, he's popping too many wheelies. We need to pull him over. Like, where What's unlawful on riding a bicycle? Unless he was drunk. You know what I mean? Unless he was intoxicated or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where is that? Where is that?
I mean, they got a big old list of, things that can't be done on a bike. Out of California, so.
What can't be done on a bike?
Well, it says that no person operating a bicycle should carry any package, bundle, or article which prevents the operator from keeping at least one hand upon the handlebars. Maybe he was trying to ride with no hands. That deserves death.
Interesting. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Oh, obviously. Oh, I see him holding a bundle in his hand under one arm and steering his bike as he's riding his bike, steering with the other hand. That's unlawful. We got to pull him up. Don't you have better things to do than pull over a man who's riding a bike with a bundle of clothes under his arm? Just saying.
Yeah, it's messed up.
It doesn't.
But so make sense. So they stopped each other, right? I'm assuming he's off the bike when he punches them. Not that they came up to him, he's staying on his bike, and then punch him, and then he falls over, and the bag of clothes is next to him, and then they see that he's in an arm's length away, and then shoot him. I understand the threat that the cop that got punched, took, but again, they have tasers. This is one guy against two cops,
right?
That is on a bike,
and they both fired. They both shot him multiple times. Multiple times from both cops. Do you see that this is a narrative that we don't need to see on the regular? This is a narrative that we don't need to have right now. At all. No man should be shot. No man riding a bicycle, y'all. This is what's so nuts. This is a man riding a bicycle, and now he's dead. In your head, at least in my mind, in my mind, I'm not automatically going, oh yeah. I don't automatically look at a bicycle and think death. You know what I'm saying? I don't automatically think, oh, I'm going to ride a bicycle and I'm going to get in some serious trouble riding this bike. Just as a person, forget race, just as a human being, in my mind, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm going to get on this bike and suddenly, all hell's going to break loose. I'm going to die if I ride this bicycle. Even so, it's there's stories about black men that have been killed just having a jog in their neighborhood. It's you're going to die for bicycling while black? I've heard of DWBs, but I ain't never heard of BWBs. Bicycling while black. This is a new one for me. This is a new one. Now, okay. Shaniqua just said something that's very, very true. She said, remember, he punched the police. That is true. There was a tussle. There was something that was going on. I get that. So I'm not going to sit there and automatically say that he's completely innocent. Shoot, he still had a weapon in the bundle of clothes that he had. But still, you punch a guy in the face doesn't automatically mean you should get shot several times by both cops.
Right.
By both? Damn, bruh. That's a firing squad. That's ridiculous. Doesn't matter what you did in the beginning. He was riding a bicycle. He was riding a bicycle, y'all. Now, like I said, I would love to see the footage, if there is any footage out there, because obviously the truth will be out there. The truth is out there if there is footage to be seen. Because if he really was trying to, grab the gun, if he was trying to grab their guns, then I can understand them, shooting him. But both of them shooting him? It's kind of the same thing of the Jacob Blake situation,
Yeah.
There's a lot of wrongs on both sides. I get that. But multiple shots in the back, it's excessive. I feel the same way about this one here. You know, I get it. He punched him. I get it. It's excessive. Like, I get it that he was aggressive. He punched one of the guys in the face. But does that mean he needs to get shot? By both of them? Bruh, that's insane.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.